Good ideas.
For 50% of the company.
The Dragons could literally offer them 2 slices of toast and jam and 50 quid for 11% of the company. They'd probably go, all right.
You wouldn't think about 10% each?
If you deliver your business plan, I'm happy to take the lower amount.
I love people that negotiate. I like the fight. But I think you generally know what's fair. And if Martha's accepted straight away, I know I've pitched it fairly, and I think, what a sensible human being.
Being prepared to compromise is a good start.
If we can maybe look at 17.5% each, that's something that I would be prepared to do.
I'm taking a flyer here, but I would be willing to meet you halfway.
Okay.
And offer 20%, and if Theo's...
I'm taking a flyer, that's why.
Giving the Dragons a reasonable alternative will help.
Could we negotiate?
I've been taught in business that when you're in that sort of situation, the best thing always to do is to meet halfway.
Yep.
Just whatever you do, don't beg.
50%. It's got to be 40. It's got to be 40.
Not me, I'm afraid, Casey.
One entrepreneur did prove a master in the art of negotiation in September 2006. Steve Bellis was looking for £50,000 for a 20% equity stake in his pub-based poker league.
There was a bit of an edge to Steve. Appeared to be a jovial type, but you felt quite pushy, quite tough.
The Dragons' attitude at first was disbelief, I think. They must have thought, what's this idiot doing coming on here?
But Duncan Bannatyne was about to discover something which would make this business a proposition worth fighting for.
How secure are you with the name, the Nuts Poker League? Have you registered that name?
Yes, .co.uk and .com.
You got .co.uk and .com, the Nuts Poker League.co.uk?
Yes. Duncan Bannatyne got interested when we mentioned that the nutspokerleague.com and .co.uk were part of the package, which then had a lovely side effect of getting the rest of the Dragons interested as well.
The race was on as the Dragons sensed an opportunity.
I'll tell you where I'm at. I'll probably be prepared to put in half. I don't know what I can't get my head around what percentage, but you know, if you convince someone like Duncan, who's an expert in this sector, then you might get something.
I will also go up 25,000 of the money that you're looking for, with Richard's £25,000. But for my £25,000, I want 25% of the equity. That means we would want 50% of the equity for £50,000.
I truly believed that what I had was worth far more than the offer, and wanted to push a little bit further. You looking for an answer?
Yeah.
No.
I'm a deal junkie, that's what I do. And I do enjoy that sort of haggling back and forward and the battle of minds, and also it shows in some ways the entrepreneur is quite confident.
It has been mentioned that I was rather cocky. I think there's a fine line between cockiness and confidence, and the last thing I wanted to do in front of the Dragons was crumble. I wanted to be confident in my ability to see it through.
Do you want to negotiate? Do you want to come back with something higher than 20%?
I'm happy to negotiate equity if you're happy to negotiate price.
Okay, let's do it then.
£75,000 for 40%.
The rules of the Den say you have to get at least the money you asked for, but there's no reason you can't ask for more. Steve Bellis originally came to the Den looking for £50,000 for a 20% equity stake in his company. But if they wanted more equity, then he wanted more money.
I still can't really get to terms with whether or not he was a really tough negotiator, or whether he thought he was playing poker with us.
I don't think at that level I'd be happy.
He actually raised the amount of money that he was asking, which no one has ever done in Den before. But I think he was maybe getting confused with the game of poker where you raise and maybe he's just obsessed with poker.
I don't happen to be a particularly good poker player, but I do understand the concept of betting, raising and bluffing. You have that in your armour, even negotiating skills. Why not try and use it?
I'm going to make you my final offer, and it's not negotiable, okay?
Okay.
So it's a take it or leave it offer. I'll give you £30,000 for 20% of the equity.
Yeah.
I've got no idea what Duncan and Richard were thinking about offering him not just the investment he came in to ask for, but even more money. It was just unbelievable.
But two of the dragons had yet to show their cards.
What I would be prepared to do is match that offer, 20% of the business for £30,000. But what I would say to you is I'm very strong in the pub field and the brewery field.
What I did like about the situation was that Deborah was trying to sell herself to me.
I'll give you 32,500 for 20%, and if Deborah did the other 32.5, you get 65,000 for 40%, and our expertise.
I was a bit annoyed when Deborah came in and undercut me, and then she started talking about her knowledge of the pub trade. I knew that I sold more beer and had more clout in the brewery business than she did. Do you know how much beer I sell per week?
Nope.
Do you know how many breweries I deal with?
Nope.
No, you haven't got a clue, because you didn't ask. I was getting annoyed at his manner, so I decided that I would just pull out.
Okay, how much?
So my opinion of you has just dropped to the floor now. So I'd be very grateful if you would take their offer now.
Yes, I'll accept the offer.
Well done. Well done. Yes, look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Appearing on the show, I was terrified. But walking down the stairs, the relief and elation of actually getting from them was fabulous as well. But it was a very stressful environment, I have to admit.
New dragon James Caan made his millions in recruitment, and he has extensive experience in investing in new businesses. He firmly believes in investing in people with passion.
James is a great addition to the Den. He's got a really, really nice way about him. He's clearly very, very smart.
James, I feel I am ready to go to that next level, and I'm going to accept your offer.
Yeah.
He came in, hit the ground running, made some unbelievably ridiculous investments that we're going to be laughing about forever and a day.
I'll offer you the 100,000 you're looking for, but I think I'd want 50% in order to take that risk.
Doggy treadmill. Crazy idea, and I think James is barking mad.
James, this man invested in a doggy treadmill.
Do you know something? These guys are going to eat their words, because I'm going to make that woman the most successful.
If you make her the most successful investment in Dragon's Den, him and I will eat dog biscuits.
We have actually made 3 investments together, and those investments are doing very well.
Appreciate it. Congratulations, well done.
He's almost the nicest dragon in the Den, because, as you know, in reality, I'm the nicest dragon in the Den, and James is second.
An offer of investment in the Den is a pretty rare thing and not to be taken lightly. Nevertheless, many entrepreneurs are less enthusiastic than you might expect to take up the deal. So here's a rule for making the most of life in the Den. Think carefully before you say no.
So this is the call I'm going to make. I will invest £100,000 for 50% of that company. That's my offer. Think about it.
What's the point? You get all the way down to Dragon's Den, you do your pitch, and they go, do you know what? We're going to offer you the money for what you're asking for the company, and they go, well, that's it now.
I believe 50% is too much.
It's 50% or nothing.
Then it's nothing.
You certainly see sometimes where people, they've had an offer and they say, no, actually, I'm not willing to give away that amount of equity, so I'm off, I'm going to go and do it on my own. And you kind of sit there sometimes thinking, oh no, they're just not going to make it.
I think it's a bit too much. I really refuse that.
You're turning us down?
Yeah. Well, Chinese eat dragons for breakfast.
Inventors, they've got this vision of business people like the dragons that are going to leg them over.
No way, Jose.